Okay. Looks like we're
Okay,
back
we
up.
back up. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you. Can everyone hear us in chat? All right, good.
Sweet. Okay, so it looks like Drew is going to space. Got Stinger with Gurry, Ellis, and Hinthra. Getting Wolf from reserve deck. Looks like he paid for everything. Can you hear us?
Okay. All right. All right, give me a second to, if you want to keep commentating, I'm going to update all the stream stuff real quick.
Okay, yeah, they were saying they couldn't hear us in chat. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like Battle in Space got alternatives to fighting. Interesting to note that Charlie did grab the stunning leader last turn, which means Drew's going to be able to use his barriers unhindered, and first strike is on the table. So that's a good good thing to note for Drew. But Charlie does look like he's in pretty good shape right now with the board the way it is. He's got his 5 species out. He's got Watering Hole out. Just picked up. That looks like that Din from Maz to start his turn. And he might have a couple options here to throw down some characters and fight Probot or fight Prince Sizer somewhere. He is going to have to do something about space, though. He obviously can't just leave Hark and the Overseer up there without alternatives to fighting.
Stream looks good. Yeah, it's interesting that Drew has to be the defensive player of this game. Usually it's QMC that plays really defensively.
Yeah, I think part of that was just Charlie's hyper aggressive start at the beginning. Charlie knows if he just goes, wider than what Drew can cover, he's going to push a lot of damage through.
What other options does Charlie have for space? Just wildcard?
Yeah, it should just be wild card. He's got 2 things he can do this turn. He can either get the alternatives back, I guess by burning Walkling because he doesn't have Celebration out yet. He can get the alternatives back into his use pile and then deploy a Ray to get it. Or he needs to put down wild card and start loading it up. Or if he doesn't have either of those options available, he's going to have to land Hark. I don't think he has any other plays available to him.
Yeah, and he already played Ray, so he won't be able to get it out of use pile, like you said.
Oh, yeah, right. Ray's on the table.
I don't know. You might want to just retreat that anyways and land Hark and then take off and get that back from the force pile. So I think the system, you don't want to lose the system entirely. Okay, so he has wildcard.
Yeah, so wildcard goes down for 2, -1 from the objective.
Yeah, I think Drew's win condition here is taking over Bespin. I don't know if he can really do a whole lot on the ground. Charlie just has too many really annoying interrupts.
Yeah, I don't know if that's where Drew wants to be though. He's going to have to put a lot of resources there. Once Charlie finds sand, they're going to be on pretty equal footing. And Charlie's just going to be able to retrieve and get some damage through, assuming he puts Celebration out. Okay, so that looks like I don't know who went down. Was that Solo and then Din? I don't know who the first character was that went down. Oh, and there's Sand.
So neither of those are solo, but it is an alien with Den.
Could be. It might be Quebec. I think Quebec is in the deck. Not Quebec. Who's the Ketwall? It might be Ketwall.
Yeah, well, okay. Makes sense. He stacks a sight and a barrier on the sand effect. Are we in sync now? It seems like we are, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. But I think he's in his move phase now.
Yeah, so he moves his guys away from Zizor, keeps his big stack at the Carbonite Chamber, and doesn't battle. I think that's what he wants to do. He's gonna position himself next turn to put down Celebration, just survive in space while he moves around on ground. Getting in his enhanced drains, and we might see like an EPP come down at some point.
Yeah, and Sizor's pretty trapped there. Like, it may have been a mistake for Drew to follow that one turn.
He might not be able to move out from there for a little while. Back up, and we are now in sync. Okay, so Mike's back with me now.
Excuse me. And Vikram will be here momentarily. Vikram 3-1 and got second in the consolation.
Do we know who won the consolation?
I didn't ask. Who?
Okay, so we'll get those details from Vic when he gets here.
Catch him on the port season.
As we expected, a really grindy matchup here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage, but also a lot of retrieval and a lot of just positioning on the board. So it's probably going to be a slow one. Mike, to bring you up to speed, we saw Drew go to space after Charlie burned his, forcing Charlie to burn his alternatives to fighting. Charlie countered with sand and 2 aliens on the wild card, but didn't battle. Seems like he's setting himself up next turn to go Celebration, and then just try to survive in space while he continues to maneuver his guys on the ground. But this is definitely what Drew wanted. Drew wanted to be in space so he could start pushing some more damage through.
The Django and Slave 1? So Drew almost needed to retrieve there.
Yeah, he realized he hadn't retrieved. And
so some character was Slave 1. I think it's Django was Slave 1. Could be Wolf. There is. It's called I Don't Like Sand. It's actually on the table below the Jabba Palace dungeon.
It has
above
the West Gallery, I think, or whatever the 2/1/1 site is, and I'm not sure what the other card stacked is.
Barrier.
Okay.
Okay, so Drew's battling here, retrieving with Scum. And first strike. for losing EPP OB. So Drew just retrieved his whole lost pile this turn. It looks like he has Guri on Stinger, which is going to prevent Charlie from drawing extra Battle Destiny. He's got Wolf on Ellison Hinthra and Jango Fett on Slave 1. I think those are all the characters that Drew has. And Charlie has Milos and who's the other character? Jen.
Yeah, Din.
Yeah, Den and Melos.
Drew draws a 5 and a 0.
Yeah.
And Charlie's getting some big bonus. So he gets a Power Destiny with Hark. I think he forgot to draw. So now they're saying that's the power. His Battle Destiny is another copy of Wildcard, and he gets a bonus of 1 for having a Smuggler on Wildcard, and another 1 from Watering Hole.
Yeah, and he got to redraw that one.
Redraw the power with Yaxkit. So now he's doing even better. So the 4 becomes a 6 for his Battle Destiny.
Which cracks Drew's immunity.
So Drew got to lose somebody here.
Oh. Is that not Din? Who is that on there? It looks like he counted it as a smuggler. I think that's Din, though. I can't tell who that is. I can't tell what they're counting. It shouldn't have been 2 for the smugglers. That's not Mirax. I think we're going to see Charlie initiate any of the battles at QMC. I mean, at the Bespin system. For what you said, the destinies are too lopsided if Guri and Woof are both coming into play.
Okay, so it was Ponda Baba, not Jango Fett.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. That's what it looks like to me. It's the picture is not great.
Yeah, that's Ponda Baba.
I used to have a Ponda Baba action figure as a kid that I referred to as Heine Man.
Drew losing Slave 1 and Ponda Baba here.
Yeah, the 6 was a big total battle destiny for him.
Yeah, good number. Who won the consolation tournament?
I believe Ed.
Oh, Ed Chen.
I believe went 4-0. I got second.
So congrats to Ed for winning the consolation tournament.
And Vic for getting second.
And to Vic for getting second. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so Charlie looking for celebration here. It just wants to add more guys onto the wild card. So there's Ellers, Matic, and Solo. So definitely take Solo here. So Charlie's game plan now is to just play celebration and just stay alive in space as long as he can.
Yeah, and he also picked the site off of Sand, so we might see him go establish at a third site. Oh, actually, that would be able
to grind Drew out here.
That would only be his second battleground site, so he is going to go there. Yeah, I think he's going to throw another smuggler or 2 onto Wildcard. We know he just picked up Solo. Out the West Gallery, put somebody at the West Gallery, and then maybe move all or most of his stack from the 1-0 over to the West Gallery. JNap in chat saying there's a pretty sweet sealed event that's about to happen.
that at 5, JNAP?
What time is that, JNAP?
It is at 5.
5 o'clock?
Did Drew play Lana Dobreed in this?
I don't think there's a Lana in this current build.
Okay. Yeah, so Caesar just might be stuck there for the rest of the game. Just kind of a bummer for Drew.
I'm fairly certain Lana has been removed in one of the last 2 iterations of the build.
OTSDs and EPTs in the sealed event. Whew.
And apparently, I was just reading on the forums, pretty cool participation prizes anticipated as well. Players are, all caps, strongly encouraged not to drop. We could be leaving a lot of value on the table.
Might have to go and play in that, but I want to watch my teammate play in the finals.
Perhaps you will be compensated for doing commentary.
So here goes Charlie, making sure to keep the carbonite chamber next to the security tower, puts down the west gallery.
I think the coffee is officially kicked in for Charlie.
Yeah, coffee seems like Charlie's best play of the day right now.
He's moving with much more fluidity.
Looks like he has everything active. And there's a Figrin Dan combo in hand, which does let him recirculate.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'll do that this turn, but that's such a big play for QMC to pull off. So Figrin Dan goes down to the west gallery. I'll say Celebration hits Bespin.
So we're going to see a lot of retrieval now on both sides.
Yeah.
But it's looking really good for Charlie. I don't know if Drew's going to be able to keep up with all this retrieval.
So he plays the escape pod combo. So I think that means he's going to recirculate this turn and then initiate.
Yeah, it's for sure. He did that same thing against me.
It looks like he also put solo on the
wild card.
Not sure if he really. I guess he does. Kind of fight at the system. But one thing that I'm always careful of is when you battle into CCT, they can lose Guri. Guri covers 7 forfeit, and then their next turn they can always just play
Dr. Shelley.
Dr. Shelley, get her back for 1, and deploy her for 2. So Drew plays Projective. Charlie pays the 2 to keep the battle going.
Pull the barrier up, the sand effect.
Yeah, his 5 is going to become an 8. Oh, but his 5 is going to be for power.
But he does draw 5 for his battle destiny too. Okay. And there's Shelley, so.
Well, yeah, there she is. I don't know if he's going to be able to get down to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fanfare shield.
So yeah, Charlie getting a total of 8 for battle destiny, and then another 5 to power.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty beefy power, and he doesn't have to lose anything because of Drew's destiny draw.
In our game with map against QMC, I eventually had to run away from the system contesting him. He committed so many smugglers on wildcard, the attrition got out of hand. So it's deceptively strong in space.
So Charlie able to move all his characters there for free in front of Probot, thanks to the lower gallery text. I don't think it's an AI. I think it's just signed. So that's why it looks weird.
Which card are we talking about?
Overseer.
Oh yeah, it's signed. It's not an AI. Or like drawn on. It looks very goofy in person.
It's pretty interesting because I think Drew might have to land now. I don't know if he has enough to
Well,
back.
he could also find Nalhutta. I don't know if we know where Nalhutta is at this point, but he could also just put Nalhutta out and run away and take time to regroup. But right now, he does have Menace Fates turned off just by being at the system, so he gets one extra damage through with his Despair Drain. But if the board state doesn't change, Drew's pushing through 3 damage this turn with a Drain of 2 and a Blaster Ping, and then we're going to see Charlie retrieve 3 from Celebration.
And one from the modal nodes, right?
Yeah, one from the musicians too. So Drew's got to do something somewhere.
It's looking really good for Charlie. This deck is sweet.
It's a lot of fun.
Tell by Charlie's body language, he likes where he's at.
He said he's mentally exhausted. That may have been a lot of energy for him. Now he's relaxed. Regroup.
So if we look ahead to the next match, which decks do you think match up better against Eric's decks?
I actually think both of the light sides might be favored against the Walker deck.
Yeah. What's Eric's light side?
I think he's playing Let the Wookiee Win Anakin.
Oh, right. So that... Sure. That might have a little better range of outcomes against Charlie's Shadow Collective, just because Charlie could draw poorly like he did for most of that game against Drew, in which case Eric would probably be in a decent position.
Yeah, this QMC deck seems like it's pretty tough for the walkers, though. Because they can't really interact with all these aliens. I don't think that... Well, I guess if... Decree will be really good in that matchup, though. If Eric plays Decree non-V.
I'm assuming Decree non-V is in the deck, probably.
Fairly certain it is.
But it's still going to be, 4 Battleground sites.
He'd probably be draining for 3 to 4 and retrieving 3 to 4 a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would come down to the system. And if Eric could assemble the pieces to...
I think both of these players, both Charlie and Drew, would have a favorable light side matchup, but Charlie would probably win by much more than Drew would. There's no idea we'll have to put a lot of cards on the table. Has Menace Fades and double projections, but just put so many cards on table in order to get to its win condition board state. Whereas QMC against that deck will be able to go super wide without committing a ton of cards to the table.
Okay, so Drew does play Nalhutta, and he's going to battle the modal nodes here with Arca and Zam Wessel. There's your Moa Nadon.
Mama!
Poor Mama got lost in the first battle against Matt, too. He may not make the field at all.
Yeah, Decree will still stop the drain bonuses against QMC, but the drains can't be modified. Something like ROPS isn't able to modify the drains where a QMC player has an alien.
I think that was a concession from Drew.
Wow. Congrats to Charlie. Nice job, Drew.
Good run for Drew. And Charlie as well. And that was a pretty good set of games right there. Very interactive, a lot going on.
Yeah, that was a cool game to see.
Crazy Carlos, who says Coffee Fuel's comeback against Coffee Pass.
Yeah, that's a good newspaper headline. Run it.
Drew set the hand? Huh?
We're going to have Charlie Arlandson and Eric Hunter in the finals here, with Eric as the number 1 seed.
What happened in the battle? Was it just didn't do enough overflow or what?
Like Kessling, unsure that.
Yeah, do we have it confirmed that Charlie advanced?
I mean, unless Charlie conceded to Drew, which I couldn't imagine there.
Yeah, maybe he just
Actually, I'm not sure.
Oh wait, Drew's putting a real Walkling into his deck?
Wait, did Charlie get overflowed there?
Drew was initiating the battle. I am not sure. I mean, he has a lot of power. I think it's possible that Charlie conceded.
Okay, so yeah, maybe Charlie. Okay, I totally read that situation wrong.
Charlie was still going to have a lot of retrieval coming.
Charlie offered the hand first, according to, I think that's Jake. Which to me means Charlie conceded.
Charlie drew a 0.
Yeah, I don't think that Drew conceded at all.
Huh.
Okay, so yeah. So if Drew was able to hit that character and Charlie drew a 0, then yeah, that's a ton of overflow.
Coffee Pass passes Coffee Player.
Okay, so yeah, confirmed. Drew advances.
Okay.
Wow.
Congrats, Drew.
I was like, are we sure about this?
It just seemed like Charlie was in such a commanding position there.
I'm actually surprised he didn't back up because he had all the free move from the 1-0 to the West Gallery. I'm surprised he didn't put one other character with the modal nudes.
I don't think he anticipated other guy draw 0 for Battle Destiny.
Was that even at a...
He pathed away to the 1-0. And then Drew followed up with Spy, Sam,
gotcha.
Battles. Probably drew, I think he drew a decent Battle Destiny. He's power +3. Yeah. And Charlie drew 0. So
which is a 1, but still a lot.
He's taking enough overflow that knowing he has to win by 15. And Charlie was also, to be honest, probably at his wit's end with the way his luck was going today. Just like, maybe this isn't my day. I can't draw any Battle Destinies that are decent. And he said when he came up here between games, he felt like Drew was better equipped mentally right now to go on to the finals. So he may have just said, you know what, this is for you. This bud's for you.
Well played by both of them.
Making his is this his first finals appearance in a
Drew?
major?
This is only Drew's second major. So the first one he went to in person was Nationals this summer. He did not make top 8. And then he's made the OCS top 16 a few times. But this is only a second in-person major, and he makes it to a final, and we'll see if he's able to take it down.
Well deserved. Also, I mean, Drew is like a machine with how much Star Wars knowledge he cranks out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So,
he's definitely put in so much work.
Yeah, his preparation and both in playing lots of games and constantly thinking about the game have obviously paid dividends.
So what do we think about?
He's been on a great run too. So well played to both guys, as Greg said, and Eric too. I mean, Eric played like a machine yesterday. I'm excited to see this final.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we think about these matchups?
I feel like Drew's in a decent shot. Definitely, like for his light side, we'll see how the other matchup goes. But Drew feels good in general with CCT against mates.
He's got plans for that.
So
Are you guys sticking around for the finals?
I think we're going to take a break.
Let's reassess.
Yeah, I think we might go sniff out a little bit about the Steel tournament and decide what we're going to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back. We're going to take a break as well. And we'll bring you the finals shortly, hopefully, between Eric and Drew Lichtenstein.
Cool.
Thanks, dude.